I have 6 o'clock. I'll call a meeting of our August Budget and Finance Committee together. If you will, your first 2 pages are minutes from the July meeting. Take a few moments to look over those.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve the minutes. Do I hear a second? I have a second motion and a second to approve the minutes as written from the July meeting. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, let it be known by stating aye. Aye. Any opposed? It is favorable. Approved as our minutes. Next piece, you've got your cash, your trustees' cash balance statements. As you're looking at your trustees' cash balance, trial balance, any discussion? Mr. Ford?
Wanted to ask Dave if you ever got the books closed out from last year. Still ain't got it done.
Those will take a little bit of time to finalize, hopefully. Hopefully by the 31st. We'll just leave it at that, right? Any additional discussion on the trial balance? If not, you'll see your comparison, July 23 to June of 24. July of 24, I'm sorry. Remember that 151 after this year now will start to look not like the expenditure there. That's where that consolidation happened, is where that 151 is at. Revenues, you should still see going heavy in that area because that's one of the ones where some funds from interest are going into. Continue to see those pieces. If no discussion there. 101, looking at the revenues of the 101. You are at 1 month in, you know, we're 8% of the budget. Not many items have been worked with. Any line items of the 101 revenues you wish to discuss? If not, looking at the expenditure side, the 101. Huh. Was there a large cost out of the 50? I noticed the 52,400 county trustees office. Almost double what it should be at this time.
A lot of that is our annual fees for our accounting software.
Comes out once. That's what I was hoping. Down to prevention, 54,310.
Brush truck. I had to look at the previous year and take it out of the fund balance and put it into this year. For the controller instructions, that's what that is. And the previously approved purchase is just being the difference.
So that was the brush truck that was purchased? The new one or the rework on the other? Okay. Which is here or not here yet?
It should be delivered in November.
But that is that purchase then. Any other line items?
It's about fire prevention control. If they bought something.
That was what we were just discussing there. I'm sorry, I should have made it clear. 54,310 fire prevention and control. The brush truck that was purchased on last year's budget was not finalized. It was purchased, but the truck wasn't delivered. So per comptroller, Miss Amy said they asked her to move that into this year's line item. So the truck's funds were purchased, ready to go and move. I think that was ARPA, was it not? I believe that was an ARPA fund, so that's gonna, that was money put there aside for that truck. It just wasn't allocated until now, hopefully. It will be delivered sometime soon. It seems like you better plan ahead for items that are in need. 58,400, is that a typo?
No, that's our insurance premiums.
Insurance premium, one-time paid up front?
Yes. Funds have not reimbursed.
Say again?
The other funds have not reimbursed. One, we wait until December for that transaction. So it is divided out of months 111, 116, and 118.
You're talking about the 58,400? It's just one of the pieces in the other charges that's under that. Is that what you're asking? Insurance premiums, workers' comp, and fuel charge. Why is fuel charge under that?
Where else would it be?
It's on line item.
I don't know. I thought we had a place to use it first.
So we always buy all the fuel out of 101, and it comes out of 58,400, and then all the departments and other funds reimburse that line item. So the amount right there that you're seeing is the insurance premium that we pay in July, and that will be, also be reimbursed by the other funds, come December.
101 would purchase, then the school, the county highway department, any of those that are using the fuel from out there would reimburse that same line item back. I mean, I guess if it so desired, it could be in its own line item, if that's what this committee would like to see. But we did not add any this year.
Added,
That was the year before, wasn't it?
we added the fair this year, so we have
It was this year we added fair board? 5 total. It's in my truck. Any other discussion in the 101? If not, you will see the breakdown on the backside of this 101 for the sheriff's department. That is what sheriff's line items come out of the 101. I believe the sheriff was almost fully staffed and then has had a few vacancies come open. I think it would hurt, well, if he's fully staffed, it should help the overtime. In the current manner of how our personnel policy reads, you're gonna see that overtime. Plain and simple. I can say one other thing that you're seeing overtime for is your SRO officers. The county stopped in that, from my understanding, in the personnel policy, it stopped allowing them to allow comp time, and they had to start putting overtime. I don't remember seeing that in there, but I'm sure it was something I missed myself. So we have to pay a SRO officer tomorrow night will go to the football game with our team as an escort. They'll leave, it's an away game, Watertown, they'll leave at 4:30. They'll be back somewhere around 9, and that's all paid overtime. Just an example. I said, is it Westmoreland or Watertown? Watertown's next week. Westmoreland is Thursday night this week. You are correct, sir. Thank you. It's exactly right. Westmoreland and Watertown both moved to Thursday night. I'm glad you were attentive to that. They are not allowed comp time anymore. That's what you were speaking of as comp time. That is under our personnel policy. I've not heard anything about the personnel policy in the personnel committee. Was there anything that was addressed in the personnel policy in the personnel committee the other night? I haven't heard of it. Not on that side. So, no. But there are a few, you will see that over time, without a doubt. It's not just on the SRO side. Don't hear what they put them on the road. If I understand, they most of the time use them now to cover summer vacation. So they're covering a shift of whoever's taking off. So yes, they are, they're receive overtime now instead of comp time. It's just a expenses we're gonna endure. It's part of the personnel policy. Or endure until something were to change. All right, looking at 111. Your revenues for the 111. At this time, you're not gonna see much revenue, majority of which in this case. Again, remember in this piece that multimodal grant will be a large portion of this fund this year. It sets it roughly, what's that, a little over a third of this fund. So, it's going to be a large portion, or a little under a third, I'm sorry, but right there at it anyway. It is a large portion of this account. 111 also has here we're looking at expenditures, and everything's coming in great at this time. Any discussion on 111? Backside of the next page there, you have the 111 Sheriff's Department. The who? Well, as we've stated and learned last year, you're talking about overtime again. In the last 2 years, we've learned that it will require a lot of overtime pay. I believe each of our positions, is it 11 or 13 holidays that are paid? I thought, there we go. It's 13 paid holidays that are paid on overtime pay for every employee in those that we're looking at here. So every single one of them, and don't forget, it's not just paid holidays. It's paid holidays at the number of hours they work. So if it's a 12-hour shift, it's 12 hours of holiday pay. If it's a 24-hour shift, it's 24 hours of holiday pay. So that is currently in our personnel policy as well. That's part of our personnel policy. It looks like it's one of those asterisks of fine print that we might have all missed. $116 solid waste. Looking at the solid waste on revenues and expenditures, hardly any money moved at this point. Mr. Salee definitely runs a strong budget each time. He does well with the money, county's money. Any questions, 116? If not, we'll turn to 118, ambulance service. Your breakdown is on the next page as well. For cost. So it is down, and the PRN position is still funded, which did help. But as we've stated in our personnel policy, each of those employees would receive 24 hours of overtime pay times 13 holidays. That gets pretty expensive pretty quick off the top. Plus the fact that their salaries are built on I'd have to go back and look. I think it's a 96 and a 120 every 2 weeks. I'd have to look to be exact, but I believe that's the case. Is it 96 hours and 120 hours? I think it's the numbers. I don't think anything has been moved in any way, form, or fashion. Something would have to be recommended to the court. So as we continue looking, you are correct. There is a large amount of dollars continuing to flow into overtime. But as we've stated, that is, as we found, a major part of our policy, personnel-wise part of the policy. But last year it seemed to help, that the PRN positions helped us out a bit. And we did not, if I remember correctly, I don't know that we added any dollars to overtime for that fund last year. I don't recall if we did. $121 core civic pass-through money. 122 county drug, not pass-through money, but it's very much sheriff's fund that's used for, as you see, revenues come from drug control fines, drug task force, forfeitures, and proceeds from confiscated property when they have a sale. I do think we had I guess that sale would have been on last year's. We just had a sale here not too long ago. The sheriff had a sale of, maybe it was in June. Yeah, maybe it was in June. Is that when the sale was? That's not reflected on here.
I haven't seen it. Revenue.
Might need to see where those revenues got placed. I do believe there was a sale. I don't know how many items or how much it generated in funds, but I think there was a sale. 127 and 128 funds where your American Rescue Fund, ARPA money is sitting. What are our total balances there of unappropriated money at this time? ARPA funds that are available, 127 and 128 funds. Yeah, what would the fund balances be? I didn't see them. No, I'm not seeing them. I'm thinking just over 400 and some range, but that may be off a bit. All right, next up, your 151 debt service. Fortunately, at this time, we have all our debt rolled into one, so no debts that we're looking at the current time. Not saying that won't remain the same, but currently no debts to be found and no discussion of, do we need to pay this one off or this one off? They're all on one, consolidated into one payment. Well, they're all consolidated into one, so everything's on one payment. In 151, isn't that what we did with the,
That's what you did. The EESI and the Criminal Justice Center.
just those two? I misspoke. So how many do we have out that are still on? Those were the floating, the rest of them, that's correct. Okay.
Basically,
Yeah, but those were on non-floating loans. That was, never mind. Yeah. We're clear on I got where we're at now. Yes, sorry, misspoke, but I did know what I was meaning, just didn't speak it that way. With the only two floating loans that we have no more floating adjustable rate loans. 171 capital projects, that's the money, as we keep talking about, comes in from the your money that comes in, this 300,000 that comes from the core civic agreement per year. That's that money sitting there. Hopefully we let that continue to accrue. I would not disagree with the statement you have. I think that contract doesn't come up for renegotiation for a little bit of time. They are our citizens. But that's 25 or 26. It was 5 years, right? I believe it was a 5 year, 300,000, so 1.5 million is what we were talking about total there on that. So I think it's got two payments before it expires. I could be incorrect, but I think this will be the third payment of it. No, this will be the fourth payment because we spent one the year before. That's correct. Yeah, 2020 to 2025. Maybe it can be renegotiated next year. Well, there was a year we didn't catch 2020. We didn't catch that first 300,000 and get it into capital projects. It got ate by the fund balance. Maybe we'd say it was spent. Let me just say it that way.
I know that a lot of times, I mean, they're appointed counsel, and it just takes, particularly when you're dealing with those type cases, it takes quite a while to get them. You've got two criminal court judges, and only one of them has that type of exercise that kind of jurisdiction, so it's a problem, and it's a problem with any county that has that type of penal institution in it. Unknown cost at the time of movement. Maybe we've been tracking those costs and we have an idea of what it is costing the citizens to house that. You very well could. Any other discussion on the financial summaries for the July report? I would like to say, and I know Miss Amy will probably tell me it won't stay this way long, but it's been nice to know that we passed the budget, that we got through 2 months without having to have any budget amendments too. So I appreciate the committee's movement and diligence on the one we moved on. And maybe that was a little bit because we didn't get through the budget as early, but we'll take the win that we've got. So if not, I would take a recommendation to approve the trustees trial balance and the financial summaries for the month of July. I have a motion to approve. I have a second by Mr. Gregory. Do I hear any discussion? If not, all those in favor of this motion, let it be known by stating aye. Aye. Any opposed? It does carry. Thank you for that time. At this time, do we have any other discussion items to come before us? Any public comment? If not, I hear a motion to adjourn and I have a second. All those in favor, let it be known by stating aye. Aye. You are adjourned. Thank you.